A shift in verb voice occurs when a sentence mixes passive verbs with active verbs. For example, Sue smiled because she was invited by Tom. This sentence begins in the active voice, with Sue doing the action smiled, but ends in the passive voice. She was invited by Tom is written in the passive voice. This sentence includes a shift in verb voice. Let's look at another example. Exotic animals were seen as the class toured the zoo. This sentence begins in the passive voice, with the object, the exotic animals, receiving the action seen. But the sentence ends in the active voice, with the class doing the action toured. Typically, a sentence should maintain the same voice throughout. Let's look at our original sentence with the shift in voice. Sue smiled because she was invited by Tom. A better way to write the sentence would be, Sue smiled when Tom invited her to the party. This sentence maintains the same voice. It begins in active voice and ends in active voice. Sometimes an author purposefully uses a shift in voice to emphasize the subject. For example, the dogs ran out of the backyard but were found quickly by their owners. This sentence starts in the active voice and ends in the passive voice. However, this just serves to emphasize the subject, dogs. If we write the sentence all in the same voice, the dogs ran out of the backyard, but their owners found them quickly, the sentence is suddenly about the owners instead of the dogs. It's okay to shift the voice in the sentence if you're doing it purposefully to emphasize the subject.
Which sentence uses an inappropriate shift in voice? The boys built a clubhouse and held meetings there every week. The sound of the waves caressing the beach soothed Cesar as he lied in bed. Justin liked Susie, but he was enamored with Grace. Jordan shrieked when the crown was given to Taylor by the judges. The correct answer is, Jordan shrieked when the crown was given to Taylor by the judges. This sentence has a shift in voice from the active verb, shrieked, to the passive verb phrase, was given. The author does not do so to emphasize the subject, Jordan, because the crown becomes the subject in the second half of the sentence. Which sentence uses an inappropriate shift in voice? Directors organize and carry out the filming of a movie or television show. Jason's efforts were thwarted by the rain. His hopes were dashed in a moment. The child loves baking, especially when he is helped by his mother. Carrie prepared a delicious feast and enjoyed it with her family. The correct answer is, the child loves baking, especially when he is helped by his mother. This sentence has a shift in voice from the active verb, loves, to the passive verb phrase, is helped. This inappropriate shift in verb voice makes the sentence sound less fluid. Which sentence uses an inappropriate shift in voice? I was stopped by the police officer, but at least I wasn't ticketed. Always save more money than you spend. I watched the season finale of my favorite show before I went to bed. The crocodile scurried into the water, and several birds were chased by it. The correct answer is, the crocodile scurried into the water, and several birds were chased by it. This sentence has a shift in voice from the active verb, scurried, to the passive verb phrase, were chased. The author does not do so to emphasize the subject, crocodile, because birds becomes the subject in the second half of the sentence.